Hello again. My initial idea was to make a video about Newton's corollary number 4 and to explain why it contradicts your idea of conservation of motion. But then I found something even better in Newton's Principia, where he is very explicit about what is being conserved in collisions. So he did these pendulum collision experiments and found a quantity that was always conserved. And that is stated here very clearly, leaving no room for misunderstandings. So Newton says, by the congress and collision of bodies, the quantity of motion collected from the sum of the motions directed towards the same way, or from the difference of those that were directed towards contrary ways, was never changed. So there you have it. Newton would have not agreed with you. So was one of the greatest scientists ever mistaken here? I don't think so. Another thing that Newton understood was that this conservation of motion was valid for both soft and hard bodies. So it doesn't matter whether the balls are made out of steel or clay. When they collide, the total momentum is always conserved as a vector quantity. But the guy who would have agreed with you was Descartes. So this is from an article by George Smith about the vis viva dispute. And here he is talking about Descartes' conservation of motion, which asserts that the total quantity of motion, that is the total quantity of bulk times speed, always remains the same. Speed here is taken to be independent of direction, not a vector quantity. So this is what you believe in, right? Especially if the total quantity of bulk is the same as mass. Descartes also came up with some rules for explicit predicting the outcome when two perfectly solid bodies, perfectly separated from all others, come into contact. And the interesting thing is that even Descartes himself recognized that there was a conflict between his ideas and what had been observed in real life. So he said, indeed, experience often seems to contradict the rules I have just explained. However, because there cannot be any bodies in the world that are thus separated from all others, and because we seldom encounter bodies that are perfectly solid, it is very difficult to perform the calculation to determine to what extent the movement of each body may be changed by collision with others. And the article continues. This defense may have been sufficient for Descartes' followers, I don't know about you, but it challenged others to find rules of impact that experience does not contradict. And apparently it was Huygens who already in the 1650s understood the rules of elastic collisions. So he stated that what is being conserved in elastic collisions is momentum as a vector quantity, but also the sum of the products obtained by multiplying the magnitude of each hard body by the square of its velocity. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, to conclude, let's not slander anybody, but try to read what they actually said and try to understand what they actually believed in.